I think I'm good to leave. Am I tired? No. Yeah, no, we look good. Hey, Devoid, what's up? You made it to the beginning. Alright, so... Wait, if I look... if I look at this, and actually look at the map... Yo, let's go! Crunchy throat. There we go. It's better now. Alright. I don't want to do that. Outpost Sebastian. Nope. These are both 1 day away, so that's fine. Alright, me... Where do I need to go now? Place of execution, city in the wasteland. What about down here? Forgotten secrets. I think that's the puzzle I just did. Gravestone Rock. The trap for Darren. My throat. I think we should go this way to like clear out all these things. So let's go over here. How's your day been, Devoid? Is Lucid around again, or did he have to go back out to the island?
We won't fall here. I swear it.
You were productive at work. That sounds lame. Oh, I'm not on Ivu? Damn it. I gotta remember to mount Ivu every time.
I will resist!
Yeah, I feel that.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Let's move already.
Relic will be augmented. The spellcasters wish to bind the power of Baphomet's flame to a relic that the commander can use. Now all that's left to do is decide what kind of relic it's going to be. A robe or gloves? We'll go gloves. Yo, what's up, Adam? Alright. Enchanting the Dirty Squealer. Shoot that one. I don't really need army stuff. Or that. Okay. So I need to rest. Have you guys have movement? You do have movement. Okay. Mapped all that out. Where the heck are you going? I don't think you need to do anything there. I think you need to go up here. Okay.
Have you thought about what you're going to do?
Demons don't know what peace is.
Oh, my armies can move again. It's a miracle. There's nothing up here, right? Nope. I guess we could come over here. We'll start dealing with this stuff. What is this? Oh, that's is. Oh, rear guard, yeah. Okay. You need to go there. Desolate Thicket. I don't know what this place is, but we'll take a look. Not very big. What's up, guys?
You won't survive me.
Prepare yourself.
She's back. Was your weirdo making food?
Die!
I dealt 81 damage to him and he died immediately. Oh, I crit and did 316 damage and used Legacy of the Last Azlati. Damn. Get fucked. Fucking cigar. So don't fucking loot him, man. I don't give a shit. A statue of a chicken, created in an artful and absolutely non-insulting manner, and a crumpled note. If you found this note, I want you to know art is pain. My name is Floggy the Sculptor, and the moment I was born, the goddess Shellen struck me with the most horrible curse of all. She gave me a craving for art. I became a sculptor's apprentice, and when I was seven, and at about 25, I'd already become a reputable and ambitious debutante. Alas, this didn't bring me any happiness. My first piece of art, a composition called The Last Azlanti Takes a Step into the Lands of the Axis, caused a stir, and most reactions were shouts of indignation. For some reason, the public decided that my depiction of a rodent bore a striking resemblance to the chairman of Absalom's Grand Council, Lord Woors. They accused me of being corrupt and subjected me to a shameful beating right at the grand opening. I attributed the calamity to my youthful inexperience and I intended to turn the tables. To avoid further accusations, I chose a topic that was pronouncedly distant from Absalom's realities, so I depicted the Tian goddess warrior Chizuru. How could I have known that so many people from Tianjia live in Absalom, and why did none of them warn me that the name of the goddess is actually spelled and pronounced Chizuru? And that misspelling it is a great blasphemy. How could I even suspect that one part of my audience would be outraged by the excessive bellicosity of my statue? The other would be insulted by its extreme femininity. And the rest would brand me a parasite trying to take money off an undisguised cultural appropriation. Feeling desperate, I turned to abstractionism. And when the time came to give my name to my statue, I chose a random set of letters, consonants only, but caused even more trouble. That night, a bunch of strangers, clad in hooded black robes, broke into my house, threatened me with daggers, and demanded that I never again try to depict their mysterious deity or mention one of its secret names. Having failed at gaining glory among the educated and sophisticated public, I fled north to Sarkoris. There, among simple people, my talents could finally blossom. I showed them wooden sculptures whose crude grotesqueness emanated strength from the primordial power of the earth, things they were supposed to understand. So they beat me up for good measure and kicked me out of their settlement, right after they broke my favorite chisel and spat in my travel bag. Until this day, I have no idea what I did to offend them. By that time, I had already learned not to ask pointless questions. The desperation of it all made me feel bitter and stubborn, but fate challenged me, so I accepted the challenge. I found it my mission. I wanted to create a statue that would insult no one. After several weeks of contemplation, I decided to sculpt a chicken. Yes, a simple chicken. What could be offensive about chickens? They're yellow and they chirp And it's definitely nothing bad about that. Oh, I couldn't have been more wrong. A week after my sculpture was showcased to the audience, a group of grim-looking people came to fell to their knees before it. They pronounced my statue to be an idol of the deity they worshipped, an infernal Duke Iazrael. It turned out that there's a Duke of Hell whose unholy symbol is a chicken. More and more cultists came to see my sculpture every day, and then another kind of public arrived. Tough knights with long swords who chopped all the admirers of my talent into pieces. After they were done with the slaughter, they started searching for the person who created it, the blasphemous chicken, for me. I fled, taking my unfortunate creation with me. I dragged the statue as far as I could, and I left it in the wilderness. I hope no one finds it here, although, since you are reading this, my hope was futile. In this case, you should know art is pain. Beware of the people who worship chickens, and equally beware of those who hate chickens. And here is the main thing I was trying to say. I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feeling with this statue. Bloggy the Sculptor. Oh, fuck that guy. How dare he make a sculpture of a chicken? Okay, so now we want to go here. Ancient map of Sarkoris. Yeah, victory, victory! Hey, Mom. How are you? How's things? Here's my rear guard. Wicked dope. They give you any kind of ETA, Mom? I read that as I'm tired of banging roofers. Glad there was clarification there. All day, our day. Oh, God. Well, that sucks. Jesus. Yeah, hey.
Move out!
Yet another obstacle.
Like I said, I'm the dust beneath his feet. Alright.
Endure this!
Desna, guide my hand.
Let's hear you cry.
Begone, fiend! Make every strike count.
Make your peace disappear.
The light. Take you.
Run them through!
Got him.
Fall!
Get out of here, Vrock. I want a Vrock. Thank you, Kathy.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I will resist.
Into the fray.
I'm sure the first person to ever make that joke in this
Out
game.
of my way!
Yo, purple. I need those.
Head on!
Okay, now I have another set of stones. I should have written down. Did I find the purple one? Well, blue and orange, and then Forgotten Secrets, which I think was the one I've already done. Yeah, I've done Forgotten Secrets. So the other one should be probably Final Veil is probably the purple one. All right. We are all almost exhausted. All right, now we'll rest there. How are you guys doing? Y'all are done. Still nothing to do here.
Those who perished in cannot.
No.
How am I doing? Excellent. Much better now that I can do the Crusader map like this. Do you imagine? I would have to have built armies for like days to get this to work. Face Stealer's Mask. That sounds awesome. Fate of the Wicked Dope. The Branch of the Last Ash. Recruitment growth and trainable units increased by 7% for 20 days. I don't need to do that. Strengthening command. Yeah, let's do that one. Darren's plan worked. The leaders of the wary fell at the hands of their own deputies, who then quickly brought the soldiers to heel. Principles of Drake training. An eccentric crusader knight who has secretly hatched a rift drake from an egg and is trying to train the vicious creature. The drake has already killed several servants, but is beginning to obey some commands issued to it. The noble is asking for permissions to obtain a few more drakes. Unlocks Drake training decree. All generals gain a pet Drake ability. Summons 1 plus power divided by 2 pet drakes. Yeah, Kingmaker, actually, was the name of the other game. And the Kingmaker, like, kingdom management system, there was... Kingmaker specifically had stuff in the kingdom management system that would lose the game for you. Yeah, it was a horrible system. Terrible. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. I just turned the feature off. Yeah, exactly. That's why I did this with the with my armies. Is I was all like, I don't want to have to build an army for fucking ever. Like, that's not why I'm playing this game. You literally have to spend in-game months and years developing your armies and shit, and I don't want to do that. If that's a thing, they need to have an option that just says, do you want to win this battle? Yes. How long will it take? These many days. Go. And just have it run through. Yeah, that's what I had heard too, is that it has the option to automate it, but automating it is a bad idea because it makes decisions for you that most people wouldn't want to make. Immune to fatigue and exhaustion. Eh. Seems kind of lame. See anything good? No.
I lead. You follow.
I played through all of Act 3 legit. I didn't want to have to do that again. And the Act 5's map stuff is going to be even more difficult because the armies are so much bigger. I say difficult, I mean time-consuming. I'm sure you know what I mean. It is a warm, sunny day in the Wound, perhaps too warm and sunny. The Sarkorian wastelands are roasting in the heat of the purple, summery, shimmering sun. Even demonic plants are unable to survive. They suffocate in the red dust of the plains. A hot wind sweeps across the wasteland, leaving the commander with the taste of ash and sulfur in his mouth. The commander can see for miles around in every direction. If there were any enemies nearby, they would not be able to sneak up on him unnoticed. However, it does not look like anyone has survived the excruciating heat in the world wound. The only signs of life in the sounds of insects buzzing nearby. The chittering noises sound like harsh, rasping laughter. The heat causes the air to shimmer slightly, and through the haze, the commander notices the walls of a city up a short distance on the road. Is it the lost Sarkorian city? A demonic trap or just a trick of the mind? The walls look real, but perhaps they are only a mirage. The commander realizes that it's impossible to tell from the distance. Explore the city. The walls are partially buried in red sand, and the commander draws close. As the commander draws closer, he realizes this is not a city, but a sun-bleached remains of a Sarkorian settlement. The buzzing grows louder, and the commander can see Vescavators perched on the stone slabs as they bask in the sun. The husks of the dead kin crunch beneath the commander's feet with every step. The commander notices rotten wooden pillars covered in faded Sarkorian runes. The tops of these pillars have been gnawed into sharp points, making them look like wooden stakes. The highest of these pillars seems to be a signpost in the middle of what used to be a busy crossroads. The passage of time has worn away all but 3 words the commander can read on the signpost. Square, marketplace, and gem. The commander decides to search for the Vescavator Queen. Try and identify the city using knowledge of Sarkorian history. Let's look for the Queen. Yeah, we'll use her. Arushale examines the houses closely. It looks like the battle took place here. The walls of the houses have been damaged or destroyed, and all that's left of the roofs are a few wooden beams. When the commander turns his attention to the insects, he notices. I think the game. I understand why the game uses gendered pronouns, because they want to be inclusive of like whether you chose a male or a female character, but I think it would be better to use non-gendered pronouns in their games, so that like when you're reading like a rogue would do best if she used this ability, and you're like, I'm a dude rogue though, and it feels weird. Just use non-gendered pronouns. Commander turns their attention to the insects. They notice that all of the Vescavators seem to be flying in a single direction toward the city square. The gender isn't based on your character at all. Yeah, that's what I mean. The gender in the texts is not based on your character. It's based on a legendary character of that one class. It's never explained anywhere in the game that that's what it's doing. So, If that's what it's doing, it's never told me that. So I would assume it's the same as the rule books for the tabletop. It's a Paizo thing. It's just confusing. If it's never explained to a player of the game, they're going to be constantly confused that the game keeps switching back and forth on gendered pronouns, and it's just like, what? You just assume it's always wrong. All right, world history. Try to identify the city. I don't expect her to win. She'd have to roll a 12 or higher. Yeah, I succeeded. Sela looks around and recognizes the surrounding streets. She has seen them depicted on some ancient maps. The drawing of the walls depict horses and herds of sheep, offering further confirmation of the commander's theory. This is Demora, a city of herdsmen that was lost a long time ago. The commander recognizes the majestic temple as Gazra, the tower that towers over the other buildings. This temple used to be a local landmark and attracted countless pilgrims. The underground aqueducts built under this temple supplied the city with drinking water, sourced from a lake that has long since dried up. The commander is sure this is Demora, but its appearance here is inexplicable. The city was located far away, on the western border of ancient Sarkoris. However, there are many strange phenomena and anomalies in the world wound. This must simply be one of them. Let's go to Gem Street. Gem Street was once full of gambling dens, brothels, and seedy taverns. Now all that remains are empty buildings and open doors that lead into darkness. However, this does not seem to bother the local residents. Creatures of all different races stand beneath the remaining street signs. They sway from side to side and occasionally shout things out as though they're trying to lure in customers. There are some demons scattered among them, but they do not seem interested in attacking. A diverse crowd of customers stagger through the street. Every once in a while, one of them will walk into a ruined building and stand amidst the rubble for several minutes, and then rejoin the activity outside. A demon with his jaw torn off approaches the commander. A buzzing voice speaks a single word through the hole in his skull. Pleasures. The commander decides to ask the demon what kind of pleasures this place can provide. The demon does not answer. A buzzing, squirming Vescavator gathers in the dark recesses of his empty eye sockets, the movement hypnotizing, and the commander involuntarily takes a step closer. Will save. By sheer force of will, the commander manages to shake off the trance and step back. The demon does not move. He stands in place as a mindless puppet and continues to repeat the single word, pleasures. Gem Street continues to operate like a puppet show in a theater, but no more puppets dare approach the commander. All that remains is to turn around and go back. Let's go to the square. The winding street that leads to the square is lined with partially destroyed houses. Many of them only have 3 walls, and others have nothing more than piles of rubble. The commander notices more and more Vescavators flying around, and the air is filled with a strange acrid smell. The square is completely empty, but the doors of Gazra's temple swing open. A woman emerges through them and begins to limp toward the commander. She is stripped to the waist and looks as though insects are squirming beneath her skin. Livor Mortis has discolored her withered, shriveled flesh, turning it a blotchy purple color. She opens her mouth to speak, but the words come out in a low buzz that is neither masculine nor feminine. Verbozivore welcomes you, esteemed guest. Make yourself at home. The woman falls silent and then collapses onto the ground. A small swarm of Vescavators flies out of her motionless corpse. The insects hover near the commander as if waiting him to follow. The commander decides to follow the swarm. The swarm flies through the air, unhindered by obstacles on the ground. The commander has to climb over debris and walk through partially collapsed buildings to follow the buzzing insects. Finally, the swarm flies down into a blissfully cool dark hole beneath one of the walls. It does not look large enough for a person to fit through. Widen the hole. Kang makes the hole larger by knocking out a few loose stones from the surrounding masonry. The hole is now wide enough for him to fit through. The cool, damp air of the underground passage feels good against the commander's hot skin, but the chittering of the Vescavators becomes even more intense. Continue. The commander finds himself in a labyrinth of underground passages. These are obviously not natural caverns, although the stonework of the underground aqueduct, quite a rarity for Sarkoris, is almost completely hidden under a layer of squirming Vescavators. The walls, ceiling, and floor squirm and move like the bowels of a living creature. The insects block all of the passages except for one, and the passage is growing smaller by the minute, prompting the commander to move faster. The passage ends abruptly, and the commander finds himself staring down a huge well. The passage is dimly lit, but the bottom of the well is lost in impenetrable darkness. This could be the area beneath the water tower, but it is impossible to know for sure without a map of the city's underground passages. The well is filled with sounds of buzzing of Vescavators, and the commander can smell their sweet scent wafting up from the darkness. The smell reminds him of the sweet caramel sold at Canabras' city festival. Memories of that day come flooding back. For a moment, the commander feels as though he is back in the town square, as if the answer to his thoughts. The giant figure of Tiscari rises up from the depths of the well. Suddenly, a crossbow bolt pierces the demon lord, and the figure dissipates into thousands of swarming Vescavators. Both Tiscari and the bolt were formed out of insects. More scenes flash before the commander's eyes. Ash and smoke fill the skies during the scene of the Battle of Dresden, leaving a sour taste on the commander's tongue. Both familiar and unfamiliar people and places appear for a moment and then vanish. It is as if some unknown creature is trying to see in the commander's mind and access his memories, yet the creature seems tentative and cautious, almost as if it's seeking the commander's permission. The commander decides to allow the hive mind into his consciousness. The commander allows the swarm to enter his mind, and suddenly a vision is so real, almost like a memory. The commander is standing in Dresden, or is it Canabras, or maybe even Nerosian. In the vision, he is watching the sunset over the city of Dresden, or Canabras, or Nerosian. A priest of some unknown deity approaches the commander. The commander isn't sure if it is a man or a woman, has no face. There's only a mouth where the face should be, and when the mouth speaks, its words sound like the buzzing of thousands of insects. We are Verbovzor. Verbi has heard about the one... Wait, Verbi has heard about the one who had defeated the mighty demon lords. It harbors a special hatred toward Tiscari and would like to know more about his weakness. It wishes to fight the demon lord and defeat him. Ask who it is and where it's from. The answer does not come immediately. Then the commander sees purple skies of the abyss cover the city of Dresden, or is it Canabras, or Nerosian? Verbi has spent several years gnawing the flesh of fallen demon lords, but now a man from Demora, the great city of herds, has summoned it to fight the barbarians, a pathetic bunch of mortal thugs. Verbi crawls up to the depths, from the depths, and when the mortal fool opens his way into Galarian, Verbi flies up and devours the city it was summoned to defend. It leaves behind a hollow shell, a city, empty streets, and silent buildings. The city walls lure passing travelers into a deadly trap. But silence is not what the swarm craves. There is no life, no thought in this silence. Verbi wants to understand everything. It wants to comprehend Galarian and make it a part of itself. It wants to become Galarian as though it has become this city. It wants to incorporate all of Galarian's essence, all of its life, into itself. But there are some obstacles. There are those who would wish to plunge Galarian into oblivion. Verbi hates Tiscari. It hates Baphomet. They must be destroyed. In the commander's vision, the sounds of cicadas fill the air, and the sun sinks below the horizon. They grow louder and more impatient, echoing the noise of agitated Vescavators in the well. The commander tries to focus and bluff. I will keep some of the details secret. Day passes into night, and night becomes day. Verbi thanks the commander politely for telling the truth and promises to help the commander in the battle if he continues to be a good ally. Verby assures the commander that it will remember his scent and come when needed. I will reject the swarm's offer. It's interesting, but commander gave the swarm the information it wanted. The Vescovators will not stand in its way. The swarm bids the commander farewell and flies back into the well. The commander is free to leave. After being in the cool air underground, the heat outside is even more unbearable. The sightless eyes of the city's residents are fixed on the commander. When he glances around at the silent onlookers, he feels an overwhelming desire to... I should burn this place to the ground. I'm going to do that. The commander sets the city ablaze, but he makes sure that no harm comes to the Temple of Galzera at its center. No one tries to extinguish the fire. The Vescovators leave their shelters of flesh behind and fly away in all directions. The rotting corpses turn to ash, and the walls are covered in soot. As the roaring inferno subsides, the crackling of the flames is replaced by another sound, the sounds of running water. Streams of clear water flow out from beneath the door of Galzera's temple and cascade down the steps. The underground stream that has bubbled to the surface signals the return of the deity who was once presided here. The commander feels the touch of Galzera's blessing. A gust of fresh air gently caresses his face. Demora has been freed. It is no longer a Vescovator trap. Okay. I don't know what all that really means, but... Alright, cool. So we control everything except this area. Whatever this area is called. I always find it weird. I have 55 movement. I click here and it will say it takes 53 movement, which is less than my max, and I still don't make it. Math. It always feels like when you get to the point where you want to, the game asks you if you want to rest because everyone's tired, and you say, no, I want to keep going. If you click to move, it feels like it sets the chance of a random encounter to like 10 times the normal amount. Because when I don't rest, I almost always get into an encounter within like
Onwards!
50 feet. Oh, here we go. Unexpected sounds break the menacing, monotonous atmosphere of the world wound. Business-like chatter, the lazy neighs of ponies and clattering instruments, and rising above all else, a rather expressive voice. Oh, Jesus. This fucking guy. A flying ship, how could you even think of proposing such a thing? Next you'll tell me we would want to travel by portals or streak across the sky in a winged chariot. Don't look at me like that. I know what you mean. That this cart has experienced things you wouldn't see in your worst nightmare. That it's the time to retire and put its wheels up beside the fire, axles creaking as it tells its cart grandchildren stories of its youth. That I can afford a more reliable transportation than this wreck. To this, I will say that great explorers and discoverers set out on their expeditions on foot. They didn't complain about it. Yet, you can't even survive comfortable ground-based travel in an ordinary cart. Jubilist Narthropple, I'm just passing through. Failed a world check. I have no idea who this guy is. Oh, man. Attack him. What's wrong with your cart? Well, I suppose I should have led with this. Sadly, my cart is stuck, and my assistants, as it turns out, are completely incapable of applying the most simple, practical skills of fixing the blasted wagon. I would appreciate your help, Commander. All you have to do is attach a wheel, clear the road, and calm the ponies. Or the world wound causes them great stress. How do you know I'm the commander? I haven't introduced myself. Obviously, it's about my acumen. Surely you don't expect a renowned scientist to be so ignorant as to not recognize the most significant historical figure in the region or era. You just so happen to be passing through so deep in the world wound? What's bothering you? Of course, I didn't mean to say this happened by accident. Passing through simply means I did not intend to conduct extensive research or educational work here. Just making a simple observation here and there. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Nature, calm the ponies. The ponies' eyes seem oddly intelligent. You get the uneasy feeling that the ponies are playing along with your attempts to calm them, chuckling to themselves. Still, they obediently stand where they're supposed to. A thought had occurred to me, Commander. What do you think of your place in history? Perhaps my fate has been far from ordinary, but I'm satisfied with the path I've chosen and the person I've become. And are those forced to follow you happy? Those who depend on you? Or are you one of those people who goes ahead without bothering to ask the opinions of others? Then again, who am I to lecture the greatest figures of our time? Be on your way and Desna will aid you. I'll just be here standing by the side of the road and taking some notes. Do you revere Desna too? You must have traveled far and seen much. The goddess smiles upon wanderers. Ah, Sister Desna. And of a very unusual kind. Yes, I've been to many places, and I hope to visit many more, but I'm surprised at your admiration. Does Galarian truly overshadow the wonders of the extraplanar travel for you? It did in the past, or in the past I did not travel, I hunted. I saw no wonders, and I did not understand the delight of walking the road, seeing new places or making new acquaintances. So you have surely seen more than I have, because I could not see, my eyes were closed. Then I wish you to keep them open and see what you wish to see. It's worth a lifetime of travel, even more than one. All right, clear the way for the cart. Your efforts are not in vain. The piece of junk blocking the path has been swept aside. Hey, Mr. Narthropple, did you fall asleep or something? I haven't heard any snide comments or philosophical rants for the few 6 minutes now. Is something clearly amiss? What was that? An attempt to practice your wit at my expense? Not bad for an amateur. Wit is a useful quality. Sadly, it's not always accompanied by the intelligence to assess whom you can safely mock and whom you should leave alone. Fix the wheel with trickery? I guess because I can pick locks. So it's more like dexterous finesse. After 10 minutes of work and a little bit of ingenuity, the wheel slides back into place, none the worse. That's it. I did all I could. What? Oh yeah. Well, I suppose I should be on my way. How unfortunate. I haven't yet satisfied my curiosity. But what can you do? Time waits for no one. I have a feeling there's something you're not telling me, Mr. Narthropple. There are some strange slips in your speech and demeanor. I must admit, acting is not one of my talents. I was hoping to casually run into you in a completely natural way and ask a few questions, but it is tricky to appear natural when this chance encounter takes place in the middle of the world wound, and you come from the future. Sorry, what? Yes, exactly as I said. Some of my friends, many in number but acting as one, can do the most curious things to me. I humbly asked them for an opportunity to meet the legendary commander of the Fifth Crusade in person. I desperately wanted to take a few notes on such a fateful figure in Galarian's history for my article on the Age of Lost Omens. I hope you're not angry with this small masquerade, and even if you are angry, I'm still satisfied. Alright, best of luck to you. My apologies, but 1,000 more discoveries await me. I can't stay in one place for too long, but I'm glad to have met you. The conversation provided me with much food for thought. Farewell. Oh, I almost forgot. I was asked to give you this golden toad. Okay. What is this golden toad? Huh? It's a toad that is golden, obviously. I mean, that much is perfectly clear. All right. Where's the other army? Okay, back to this one. I think I will go this direction. Okay. "1d8 bludgeoning damage on a hit with unarmed attacks and plus 10 competency to athletics. This is 1d8 slashing on unarmed attacks. If the enemy is of evil, it's 2d6 instead. In addition, it plus 1 enhancement to bonus on attack and damage rolls." So that's better gloves for her. Nope, you can't use it. I think what you're thinking about, Adam, is the golden owls. I think I've gotten like 2 golden owls in the game, and they both gave me like a +1 stat boost to something. I'm pretty sure. You need to rest.
You can get used to anything. But the
I'm gonna eventually need to go back to Dresden. That's okay. I should be able to go into here. Yeah. I should be able to upgrade an outpost over here, and I'll choose one that's pretty centrally located. Okay, I did rest. I need to go here. Where's this army at? Down there? Okay. Okay. So there's only that army left on the map, really. And the one that's running around, but I'll go grab that one here in a sec. Outpost of Bastion, yep. No. Invitation from the Free Crusaders. Jesus Christ, leave me alone.